Cheers, mate. Did a good old day's work, didn't it?
When a skateboard and a skateboarder love each other very much, there comes a time in their relationship where they have to take it to the next level, and the only way to progress is to hurt one another. Skateboarding is very dangerous and very painful. I know this, you know this, all the other skateboarders in the entire world are aware that skateboarding isn't always a harmonious relationship, and I'm feeling the brunt of this recently. I haven't done much skating lately because my ankle still doesn't feel super great. I tried to go out the other day and get a few clips at the skate park, and here's how that went. But right now I'm feeling very anxious, very antsy, a bit sluggish, and I need to get out of the house. I need to get a little bit of exercise, and what better way to do it than a little bit of skateboarding. We're gonna go out, we're gonna see what we can accomplish today with ourselves, feeling how we feel. I have no expectations about how this session is gonna go in general. I just wanna be on the board. I miss it. I miss that interaction, that physical connection with the shoe, the wood, the pavement, the wheels, grinding, sliding, popping, flicking. Probably won't be able to do much, but we'll see what happens. We're just gonna go out with an open mind and just get a little bit of riding in, cruise around, and have some fun at the very least. Okay, I'm able to pop some ollies, not too bad. My ankle doesn't really hurt that much doing those, so that's great. Able to get some ollie manuals, but my feet are really sore. They feel like they're cramping up inside the shoes. I don't know what it is. Maybe I haven't had enough potassium today, but that is becoming an issue. Really want to learn these manual frontside 180s and also just manual 180s in general, because that's something that I think is pretty cool to do. I can't figure it out. I just feel like I don't have enough stamina to hold the manual and then ollie and swing a 180 at the end. But I think I'm gonna try and figure them out. Probably been putting them off just because it feels like such a simple little trick to force yourself to spend a couple hours figuring out, but I think sometimes those can be the most beneficial things to learn, just the silly basic stuff. Even if it doesn't seem like you're accomplishing much, there's a certain aspect of discipline there. Let's go ahead and get some more of those. So this Manny front 180 I was proving to be a bit more difficult than I'd anticipated. I'm starting to get frustrated, which was the antithesis of what this session was supposed to be out and about. You know, I just wanted to come out and have some fun, no expectations, not force myself to get too into anything, and that's the exact opposite of what I've been doing. So I think what I'm doing now is just try and calm down, mellow out with some pretty easy and fun flat ground tricks. See how much I can do with the ankle still kind of a little bit sore. right, that'll have to do. So I just watched that clip back just to make sure that the switch frontside flip was in frame and it looked all right, decent at least. I noticed something, I always do this with like my switch flips, my nollie flips, and switch frontside flips. Obviously you can see in that clip, I sort of like tweak my front foot back behind me up sideways rather than just flicking it straight out. I don't know, I think it looks a little weird. I'm not a huge fan of the way that looks. I want to see if there's something I can do to correct it. That's just obviously the natural way in which my body wants to flick that switch frontside flip. But it's kind of weird, kind of odd, awkward looking, you know? I guess switch tricks are just awkward in general because it's the opposite of your traditional strongman stance. I don't know. I guess we all have our little quirks and style and flair when it comes to skateboarding, and sometimes you like your own style, sometimes you don't, and that's one of those tricks that I don't like the way that I do it. If you've been skating for any length of time, chances are one point or another you've gotten injured. It may have been the first time you stepped on the board, or it may have been just last week when you've been skating for 15 plus years. But that's just the nature of the beast. There's no reward without any kind of risk. That being said, not all injuries are equal. I think that's pretty obvious, but I think there are some that I'd much rather prefer to avoid, and some that I don't mind taking every now and again. Getting bodied after slipping out of a 5-0 on a box was actually not that bad. It's much preferable to rolling my ankle as I did a couple of weeks ago. I think any injury that involves your feet or your ankles twisting and contorting in ways that they're not supposed to move are much more worse than hitting the ground hard or in any kind of just limb area or sliding and scraping. I think I take just about any other injury for any other part of my body than the ankles and feet, because if you think about it, they're pretty crucial to the sport. They're the most important thing, the thing that interacts with the board and makes it do the flippy stuff. So it's pretty important to keep those nice and healthy, and I'm really hoping to do so. I think my next pair of shoes are definitely going to be some high tops that I'm going to lace up nice and tight, and so that ankle doesn't get flipped over again, because oh boy, I'm just not having a good time. This time it is actually a little bit better than it was when I rolled it back in July. I think it was much less severe of a rolled ankle, and I've been taking, I think, a little bit better care of it. I took a whole day off work, kept it up, iced it every couple of hours for a full 24 hours, using icy hot, stretching, elevating, compressions. It's getting there, but I'm still obviously not back to 100%. As you saw today's session was very minimal. And I kind of went against the grain of my own mentality when I came out here. I just wanted to have some fun and, you know, not really push the envelope too much. But lo and behold, what do you know? Once you get out here and you get the juices flowing, you start focusing on a certain trick that you want to learn, then it's hard to break away from some of that pattern. As always, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you sticking around to the channel, even though I haven't really been able to do much skateboarding lately. Feeling like maybe just one more week or so I can get back to where I was. Hopefully, let's do some more really good skateboarding, because, you know, I'm a really good skateboarder, obviously. So keep it tuned to the channel, and I think I can do some things in the future. If you want to kind of like, you know, hit the button, skateboarding and skateboarding and shenanigans. I'm not done yet. It's really kind of frustrating because I'm you know, just now having to focus on the mental part again. No one likes getting hurt, but skateboarding is twofold. You know, it's physical and it's a mental injury, because you lose a lot of your confidence, especially just being immobilized for a couple of days, you know, and barely being able to walk around, let alone flip a board of wood off of stairs and ramps and shit. But nevertheless, we're gonna get back at it very soon. I'm gonna stay positive, keep the head up, keep the mind set up, keep the foot up, the ankle feeling good, and try to do some more skateboarding soon. Luckily, I've had the homies to hold it down for me. I've been able to skate vicariously through them in the last few days, going to the skate park, just getting some clips of them, and it's been a grand old time just learning to film other people, actually, because good practice for my own filming, my own videography skills. If you've seen this channel, if you've been a member of watching this channel for any length of time, you probably know that a lot of my angles in filming and skateboarding, filming yourself, is a lot of static angles. I don't really go out with a big group and have other people film me too often, so I just set it up on the tripod and then just take the clips from, you know, what I can get from the angles and stuff. So I haven't really done too much of like the handheld filming and stuff, but that's something that I've been doing a lot more of recently, and it's been kind of a fun venture. Just learning how to do that, practicing that, my own skills and prowess for the future. It's all coalescing to one main purpose in the end of things. You know, I always come here often when I just want a quick session. It's right up the road, it's not too far, and I usually end up not having the greatest sessions. I don't know, it's right by the main road, which can be pretty noisy, and that I already find myself getting distracted by even now when I'm not doing anything except speaking. And then a lot of the ground is kind of crusty and rough, and it's just, I don't know, man. I end up getting hung up on this silly little manual pad, which, you know, it's just a little curb height, but it's a lot more, it's deceivingly difficult because there's these little lips on each side with these rumble strips, and then I'm just making excuses for it, but it's not an ideal little mani pad, and I just end up throwing myself at it for a while and getting frustrated, and that's what I need to not do in skateboarding. That's the antithesis of what skateboarding is all about. And, you know, the most important part of skateboarding is just having fun with it and not getting mad at not being able to do stuff. So I wonder how close I can get. Still be kind of in frame. This is a pretty wide angle lens. You can still see my whole face. It's pretty shadowed though right now, huh? And but I'm like I'm very close. Probably like, you know, I don't know if you can tell how far that is, like just a few inches from the lens. Can really get pretty intimate close up here. But as always, thanks so much for watching the video today. If you liked it, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe for more skateboarding and shenanigans every single week. And I'll see you in the next video. Keep on spooting. Spoot like your dog does. Let's go home. Beer or whiskey? Which one? Beer or whiskey? I think I might get some beer instead tonight.